Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Neffy, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I was able to clear my baby's cradle cap in just 2 nights using the following products. So if you have a baby that's dealing with the same thing, or you just want the information for future reference, then definitely stay tuned. Alright, so right around 2 months old, my infant baby developed a severe case of cradle cap, and severe by meaning that it was worse than the average cases. So normally babies develop cradle cap or seborrheic dermatitis in their scalp, and usually it'll make it super flaky. There's like this buildup that gets there and stuff like that or whatever. And normally with proper shampooing and taking baths and things of that nature, a lot of times it'll just clear up on its own. That's what I'm used to. That's what I experienced with my first son. But this time around, this was not the case. So around 2 months old, my baby developed cradle cap in her scalp, which wasn't alarming to me because, like I said, I had dealt with it with my son. He only had it for a couple of weeks and it just kind of did its own thing and kind of cleared up on its own. I really didn't have to do anything extra to be able to maintain it or get it to go away. But with my daughter, she actually developed traveling cradle cap, which is what my doctors are actually calling it. I don't know what's out there, what your doctors are calling it or whatever you can find on Google, but overall all that means is that her cradle cap actually traveled from her scalp to other parts of her body. So she experienced traveling cradle cap all over her forehead, and it actually traveled to her ears, and I think that the worst part was her forehead, but I was actually able to clear the forehead and the ears. So I definitely want to make the disclaimer that I'm not talking about traveling cradle cap in the scalp clearing up in 2 nights, because that did not happen. I want to say after proper and consistent care of cradle cap with her scalp, after a week, I would say the major parts of the buildup definitely cleared up for the most part, but after 3 weeks, that's when it was like completely gone and we didn't have to deal with it anymore. But as far as her forehead and her ears, I was able to get that clear in 2 nights without having to put her on any medication. So whenever my baby started to have breakouts on her forehead, this was before her ears started to, do its thing. I really just thought that it was baby acne. So originally I really just thought that I could just, put some things on her, give her more baths, and that her baby acne would actually clear up. So my first instinct when she developed this stuff on her forehead, which appeared to be baby acne at first, I actually started using breast milk on her skin, and I definitely did notice an improvement. So I'm not going to use breast milk as one of those things that in this video that help clear up her forehead, because I know not all women are able to produce breast milk to be able to put on their baby's skin. Not all women choose to breastfeed or whatever. So however you feed your baby is totally fine, but I was exclusively breastfeeding her at this time when she developed a cradle cap, and I do know that there are some healing agents in breast milk that a lot of people swear by, and so I decided to actually use breast milk on her face. But after a couple of days, I realized that it was getting better. It just was not clearing up, and that's when I ended up taking her into a doctor. Because the day that I realized, like, wow, this is getting out of control, it's not really clearing up, that's when I realized that it actually started to travel to her ears. So things were practically seeping from her ears, and it actually looked like yellow, crusty. I mean, really, you guys have seen the thumbnail. So that's literally what it looked like, and I was like, this is not okay. This is not normal. I've not seen this. I've not experienced this. I don't know what to do. And so I took her to her doctor. So whenever they examined her, they told me that it was actually a severe case of cradle cap to where it actually got infected. So I asked them, like, what do we do where do we go from here? And so pretty much they prescribed her a medication, a topical medication called hydrocortisone, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. But I actually did not want to go that route. So I took the prescription just in case. We live in a country where we are privileged with the option to be able to use medication when it's needed. But I personally wanted to see if I can clear it up some other kind of way. I would prefer the natural route, and so I wanted to do my research to see what I could use to actually clear up her skin. But before I did my research, I actually ended up just seeing what I had in my home that I could actually try out. So one of the products that I actually came across whenever I was just looking for stuff to be able to use on her skin was actually going to be this company actually called Mustela. So this is actually not the product that I received for free. I actually loved it so much that I went back and got the full size. But Mustela, I received a free sample of their cleansing water that was probably about like this size, and I literally started using this on her skin the day that I decided I wanted to try to clear up her skin without using the medication. And I would put this on a cotton pad and then I would dab this into her skin, and since it's no rinse, I wouldn't rinse it off or do anything like that. I would just dab it into her skin and let it air dry, and I noticed a dramatic improvement after the first night of using it. So this is the first product, Mustela no rinse cleansing water. It says it's for normal skin. You can use it on baby, children, whatever, and it's 98% natural. So that's the first product that I would use in the morning when she would wake up. I would use that and dab that into her face and then let it air dry and just kind of go from there. Then in the nighttime or for bath time, I would actually use the CeraVe wash and shampoo for babies. Y'all, I'm showing you guys samples that I got for free from these companies. I could have bought the full-size product of this one as well, but I really didn't care to keep using it after her skin cleared up because I don't use anything on my baby's face personally, unless they're taking a bath. So I actually used this whole bottle for the 2 nights, and then that was that. After 2 nights, after using these 2 products, my baby's skin was completely clear. Now, of course, disclaimer, every baby's skin is different. Every case is different when it comes to cradle cap. So you might use these 2 products and it may not work for you, but I'm telling you, I think this is a great start because after I used them, I actually went on Google, got on YouTube and tried to see what everybody else was using. And a lot of other people said that they used the Mustela cleansing water. Plus they have a whole bunch of other great products for babies to use. People actually use their body wash, their lotion. There's a whole bunch of other stuff to use out there. If your baby has baby acne or in situations of cradle cap or eczema, all these other things that you can use it for. So this is what I used that helped to clear my baby's skin in 2 nights without having to use medication. So I'm letting you guys know what worked for me. You can try it. I hope that it works for you, but if it doesn't, don't come for me. Okay, I'm just telling you what I used, all right? But this one, I had a small bottle. I loved it. We used the full sample size for the 2 nights, and then after that, I loved it so much that I wanted to go back and get it. So I still use this on my baby's face every single day to this day, and my baby's 5 months old. So I've been using this cleansing water on her since she got cradle cap at 2 months, and now she's 5 months, and we still buy this. This is probably like the second tall bottle that we've gone through, and I'm literally on my way to buying a third because you see there's like none left. So I swear by this. This is literally a holy grail. So please try it out if you're struggling just like I was and trying to clear your baby's cradle cap and just your hands are tied and you don't really know what to use. I highly suggest trying that out and seeing if it'll work for your baby. So that is how I cleared my baby's cradle cap in literally 2 nights. I used these products all day for the 2 days, and I used it before bed for the 2 nights, and after 2 nights her forehead was completely clear. And obviously you guys have seen the photos on the screen, you guys have seen the insert of the video, and so you've seen the thumbnail. Her skin is completely cleared. It has never come back. Now if we're gonna move on to talking about her scalp did not clear in 2 nights, so I definitely want to make that clear. I'm only referencing her forehead and her ears and how I was able to clear that in 2 nights without medication. Now it's common that baby cradle cap in the scalp, whether it's severe, mild, moderate, whatever, it literally just clears up over time. But there are some maintenance things that you have to do if it was a more severe case like how it was for my baby. So her cradle cap in her scalp, it was super thick. It was so hard, and it was just, I had to do something. I couldn't just leave it like that. It was not a case where you could just shampoo every day and then it'll just go away. My son had a very mild case of cradle cap in his scalp. We literally just bathed him every day, shampooed his hair, and literally it went away on its own. We didn't have to do anything else, but hers was so bad, of course, since it was a severe case, so we had to do some other higher maintenance. So what I ended up using to clear her scalp cradle cap was actually going to be this virgin coconut oil. So this is literally something I bought from the store. I bought it from my local grocery store. I think it's called the Tiva Organic Virgin Coconut Oil. It's cold pressed and unrefined. If you don't know about a lot of the benefits that coconut oil has for skin, it also has a lot of good benefits for hair and all that other stuff or whatever, but it's really good for the skin. So I would apply this generously to her scalp in order to soften up the cradle cap in her scalp. And then I would go ahead and use this comb, which I'll insert a video here so you guys can see exactly what that looked like.
This is what it ultimately looks like up close. And as sucky as it is to deal with, it's so great during the sessions where I can remove this from her scalp, and over time it will just go away on its own. Forgive my voice because I'm a little bit under the weather, but I am giving my daughter a bath, and as gross as this may look to you if you've never seen this, this is so oddly satisfying to anyone out there who's ever had a baby with a severe case of cradle cap. So I'm giving her a bath, and every time I give her a bath, which has to be every 2 to 3 days or less, I have to clean her scalp before I give her a bath. That way she doesn't have any flare-ups on her skin, which is her face, her neck, her ears, etc. And so this is what I'm removing from her scalp, and it just feels so good to get rid of this.
To be able to, this little infant comb, which is super soft, super gentle, to be able to scrape, well, scrape sounds like a terrible word, but comb out the flakes out of her scalp. And once I did that, her scalp would be super clear, and a lot of times I would shampoo it right after to remove all of the coconut oil, because you definitely don't want any oil left over, because I feel like that helps to feed the cradle cap. So you use the coconut oil, since it's such a light oil, it's not going to seep into the scalp in a crazy way, and then you soften up the scales, comb them out, get rid of all of that. You shampoo the scalp thoroughly. I would shampoo her scalp 3 times after this with a gentle baby shampoo, and then I would dry her hair and then let her go to sleep. And so we did that, and I want to say after a week of using the coconut oil and scraping the scales out of her scalp, then I would say the bulk of the buildup really started to release and not come back as drastically. After about a week, it was kind of like dry scalp, if that makes any sense. And I want to say after 3 weeks, her scalp was completely clear. So that's all the products that we ended up using: the mustela wash, the CeraVe baby wash, the coconut oil, using these cotton pads to kind of, you know, dab her face, and then just using a soft, gentle baby comb and making sure that you're not scraping the scalp and irritating it. And literally after 3 weeks, her scalp was clear. After 2 nights, her face and her ears were clear. So that wraps up this video. I really hope that if you're out there and you have a baby that has cradle cap, that these tips and products were useful and helpful to you. Let us know in the comment section below if you've done something different for cradle cap and if it's worked for your baby. And also, you know, I believe knowledge is power, so let us know what you guys have done. But also, if you don't have any babies right now and you're just gonna have some in the future, or if you're somebody who professionally takes care of other people's kids, or if you have family that has babies or whatever, definitely save this video so that you guys can know for the future. I'm so excited and so happy that that was such a short phase of her life, because no mama wants to see their baby with things on their face. It was really just a challenging time, even if it was just short-lived. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.